Going to cover in the Photoshop Revealed series, Chapter 8, Lesson 1, just Lesson 1 for this video. Go ahead and open up from your data files 8-1.psd. 8-1 looks like a soccer field. I'm going to do a Command-Shift-S. Going to do a Command-Shift-S, and we're going to save this in our classwork folder as soccer. Save that as soccer. And what we're going to look at today is using a layer mask and kind of looking at the benefits of using one. What we're going to start with is let's get on the soccer field layer. And we did a vignette at one point in time. We're going to look at a vignette again. Click on the soccer field layer, and then let's go up to the rectangle marquee. And on the rectangle marquee, let's up our feather pixels here. Let's do a feather about, let's go about 13 pixels. I'm just kind of randomly picking something I think will look good. 13 pixels. And we're going to draw a rectangle within the borders of the soccer field. Ready? Try to make it even on all sides. Let go. Once you do that, let's go back up to the top and click on Layer. Let's go to Layer Mask. And then we're going to say reveal the selection. And that's going to feather out at 13 pixels that area around our photo. Okay, now the next thing is, how do we do that to individual pictures or individual layers, and maybe not just on top of something just making a vignette. Let's go to the opposition layer and let's turn it on. The opposition layers. The opposition layers turned on. It's these guys playing soccer right here. This person coming behind. Actually, they almost look like they're rugby, not soccer. It's a little jagged. We're going to kind of clean it up. Basically, what I want to do is I want to get rid of this guy right here. Just want to get rid of him, and I want to use a layer mask. So here's what we can do. Let's go back to the marquee. And on the marquee, let's change your feather down to 0. With our feather down at 0, then, we're going to drop a box around this particular individual. So check this out. I'm going to put this right about here. See how I'm cutting off this guy? Notice I've got the shoulder of this guy's jersey's cut off, but that's okay. We'll come back to that piece here in a second. So with that then selected, and this won't work if you're not on the right layer, so you got to be on the opposition layer. Okay, with that selected, then go up to Layer on the menu, go down to Layer Mask, and go down to Hide Selection. So whatever you selected is now hidden. So the flip side of this is, how do I get these curves back in here? To get those curves back in there, we go over to the paintbrush. Okay, and on our paintbrush, we need to select from our brushes palette. Let's scroll to the very, very top, and I'm going to select this it's like hard round 30, second one from the top. And with that selected, I'm going to keep my the hardness at 100%, spacing's at 25%. Shape dynamics and smoothing are by default. I'm going to keep that there. Up top, I've got everything else kind of set, my mode is set to normal. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to brush on that particular piece. Before you do that though, make sure you're on default foreground background colors. And I'm going to come in here, I'm going to just real softly, and I'm going to even make my brush size a little bit lower. I'm going to just brush on here then this selection. I'm going to try to get this guy's elbow in. There we go. And I got to get this guy's jersey back in. I'll kind of follow his arm. There. His jersey is now back in. This guy is back in. That guy that was right here is just fully removed from the selection, because in our layers palette you can see there is a mask that is there. So kind of some tweaking we can do of this is if we go up to Window on the menu and we go down to Properties, it pulls up your properties for what you're selected on. And currently we're on a mask, so what we're going to do is we're going to click on Mask Edge. And if we just change our mask edge here, this kind of puts a refined mask around it. We're going to change our smoothness to 15 and the feather to about 1 pixel. Feather to about 1 pixel. Let's click OK. It kind of smooths out the edges of our mask a little bit. Okay, so that's working with a layer mask using a marquee, and that's Chapter 8, Lesson 1.